All right. I think that everyone can see me and I think that everyone can hear me. So it is 12:01 on this Tuesday, April 7th. I hope everyone is staying safe. I hope everyone is staying creative, staying inside during the stay-at-home mandate. I'm Joni Deutsch. I am the host of WFAE's Amplifier, the music podcast that cites the Charlotte music scene. You know, give me 1 second. First time doing this, we're gonna try it this way. So I hope everyone's having a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. I'm Joni Deutsch, the host of WFAE's Amplifier, the music podcast highlighting the Charlotte music scene and everything around it. Obviously, this climate, seeing live music, seeing Charlotte music is a little daunting. So what we're trying to do here at WFAE is bringing the music to you through this new virtual series that we're calling Songversations. It is a combination of songs and conversations with some of the amazing talent that calls Charlotte home. We're debuting today with our first act, SOLIS. They're actually on the line with us. So go ahead, folks, if you want to wave your hand and say hello.
Hi.
Hi. So what we're going to do today is we're going to hear some songs from them. We're going to hear some stories from them, and we'll hear from them just after this musical break. They're going to go ahead and start with a medley of theirs. Solis, do you want to introduce what the songs are that you're about to say?
Yeah, this one is called Body, followed closely by Fire, both on our new EP, Veil.
Awesome. So go ahead and get started.
I became a miracle. Oh, I did it for you. Yeah, I did it for me. Oh, I was so lost when you became my world, the center of my universe. Oh, I can't find the words. Want to let you know how I have grown because of you. Trust not what you see. Broken spirit, try and move me. I know a place where we can go, where the memories flow. You know I'll burn like a blazing fire. You know I'll burn like a blazing fire, like a blazing. Oh, you know it hurts so bad. Oh, less like what I've
was great.
What's up?
That was awesome. What's up? So that was, for those joining us, that is the husband-wife indie electro Charlotte music duo SOLIS. That is Kelly SOLIS and also Leo SOLIS. They're joining us today for this debut of a new series here at WFAE, Charlotte's NPR news source, and that debut is of Songversations. So they just provided a medley of two of their original songs. That was Body and Fire, oldies but goodies from the duo. I've actually never heard a medley like that from the pair, so this is a rare and a wonderful opportunity for us to highlight it. So Kelly and Leo, thanks for joining us in this experimental Facebook Live series. Last time we spoke, it was in WFAE's studio
Right.
about a year back. So things have obviously changed a little bit since then. Can you kind of share with us where are you right now, and kind of tell us a little bit about the setup?
So we're at our home studio. We built this small. We call it a studio, but it's really our playroom. My dad drove from New Mexico to help me build and outfit this pre-existing shed that was on our property, and we were able to cram all of our toys in it. So we do all of our work at home. So like even our older EPs and whatnot, we're avid home recordists, as I say.
Yeah. It's a pretty good setup, and for those that may be wondering, what are the figurines that are that are accompanying your instruments? Can you give them a heads up of what they are?
Yeah, I'm a huge Dodger fan. This is Clayton Kershaw, number 22 of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and we have a stormtrooper here for our love of Star Wars.
Yeah, and Kelly is actually, speaking of love of nerdy things, so Kelly's actually wearing a T-shirt, and that T-shirt is Abari. For those in the Charlotte area who are familiar with it, you know Abari is the local gaming bar, part games, part cocktail hour going on. So a lot of local nerdy things going on in this conversation today.
Yeah, we fully embrace the nerdism culture of Charlotte.
Super into it.
So, you guys just explained your setup. For those that are tuning in, again, I usually work at WFAE Studios based in University City. Today, my home studio of sorts is my place in Uptown Charlotte. And so you can kind of see I'm next to a piece of furniture, and, lighting is okay, but we're definitely living through some interesting times right now. So, again, the last time I spoke with you, Leo and Kelly, you guys were working with local artists, because Leo, you're the co-founder of Four Finger Records. A lot of things going on musically, and now things have kind of changed since then because of the COVID-19 coronavirus outbreak. So first off, how are you two doing so far?
Oh, we're doing good. We're staying busy, staying creative. Our routines really haven't changed much. I'm kind of a studio rat, as they say, so I'm constantly doing stuff here and staying creative for my own mental health, and Kelly's schedule really hasn't changed much. She's still continuing in her work, so navigating through that has been difficult, I guess, but other than that, like we're staying safe and healthy and trying to take all the precautions. Obviously with what's going on right now, it's hard to navigate.
Yeah, washing her hands,
Yes.
getting them real dry. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely going through the soap, antibacterial, and the lotion on our end over here too. Leo, you just mentioned Kelly's work. So Kelly, we're talking off Zoom screen about what you're doing in your 9-to-5 job of sorts. So do you want to share a little bit about what you've been up to in the last few weeks with your daytime job?
Yeah, I work at a local grocery store here in town, so we've all been still going in. There is the option to stay home if you feel safer. I've still been going in, and we're now going to be able to wear masks, so I'll probably be jumping into the masks and gloves possibility. So we aren't letting in more than 45 people at a time. Got tape all over the store to demonstrate the 6 feet. We don't come in contact with each other like coworkers, closer than 6 feet and stuff like that. So we're trying to do our best. The food sections have been shut down. It's kind of like bare. They've closed off all to sit and stuff. So they really want people to get in and get out. But lots of customers coming in with masks and gloves too. So it's been really different than normal, but adapting pretty well.
Are you feeling safe? Are you feeling healthy and given the work environment? Because unlike Leo, I mean, you're really on the front line in terms of getting out there day by day.
Yeah, I do. For the most part, I do my best to step away from people without it being too awkward. But most people remember if they forget. I think a lot of people like don't remember because they're not out as much as I am, so they kind of step in. But it's too bad. Washing my hands tons at work and using hand sanitizer when we have it. So it's been pretty okay.
What has been the decompression period for you all? Because I assume after that kind of long day working under those conditions, trying to play Pac-Man with a lot of people to make sure you're staying away from them, coming home, is there kind of a relaxation period or a way to decompress from what's happening on the outside?
Yeah. Well, one of the first things I do is just wash my hands again, really good. But then we just usually sit down and put some music on. I'm usually starving, so we'll start making some food, and that's usually what it is: music and food.
Yeah.
So,
Which hasn't changed much for us, but we have been enjoying cooking and trying out new recipes. We've been making a lot of tortillas lately, which is fun.
Yeah, home cooking a lot more. So Leo's breaking out a lot of his pre-existing cooking skills. So.
Yeah. Personal chef over here, guys.
Were you a personal chef once?
Oh no.
He's not.
It sounds like you will be moving forward.
I know. I keep telling Kelly, like, if I didn't do music in a different life, I'd probably be a chef. But maybe I will if this all comes crashing further.
You could play with Snoop Dogg, Khalees. Like, there's a few artists out there that have done like a song and recipe cookbook, or songbook. I mean, why
It's
not
great.
do that?
I know. I've been really inspired by cooking, and it kind of has filled the void. You know, when I get mentally exhausted in this room, I just go over there and cook some. But yeah, that's been the biggest relaxation. And we normally wind down with some animal documentary on Netflix or The Office, obviously.
Yes, obviously.
Yeah.
When you can't go into the office, you watch The Office.
Yeah.
Well, you're talking about relaxing, trying to stay creative when there's a lot of pressure around us right now. You know, with Four Finger Records, which is the local Charlotte indie record label that you manage, Leo, you all just released the Quarantine Sessions, which was a compilation of the Charlotte songs by the Charlotte artists that you represent. Can you tell us a little bit about that process and the bands that were represented in that?
Yeah. So on this volume 1 of the Quarantine Sessions, we asked to create a new tune or to finish something that maybe they have started, and we kind of gave them a short time frame. It was like about a week and a half or 2 weeks, and all the bands were really excited about it. You know, we all kind of banded together and we finished we finished the EP, and it sounds great. And yeah, a lot of the artists on Four Finger are, you know, are musicians, obviously, but they all have day jobs as well. Some work at a guitar shop, some work at a bar. Yeah, we've all kind of banded together again to I don't know, support each other and to see if we can, you know, maybe just buy a meal for you know, through the proceeds of the band camp that we put up. And we got a really good response, and it's 5 songs, and we've actually issued another challenge to the Four Finger bands. And this next one, I think we're going to be calling it the COVID covers. Quarantine Sessions Volume 2, and I'll give credit to Kelly for coming up with that just a minute ago.
That's not a
An official.
That's not an official title.
No, I haven't spoken to my my co-emperor Jeremy Ryan Smith.
Okay, so we're not breaking any news right now with this
We're
name.
not. No. But it's gonna be fun. So the bands are covering each other, and it's a good challenge, just to kind of stay productive and stay busy. And we've all been texting each other about ideas and if bands need help. So it's gonna be exciting to hear everybody's kind of version of each other's songs, and it's a good challenge.
Yeah. So one of the songs off the record is actually your all song, which we're about to hear in just a second, R2PO. That's an original song of SOLIS, the band. Before we get into it, though, just tell us a little bit more about this process in trying to record music and trying to stay creative in this time. I mean, has it been less of a struggle in going into the home studio and focusing your energies on making music?
I think for me specifically, because I don't have a routine or a schedule like Kelly does, I try to stay on my internal clock. And I'm pretty good about coming in and at least trying out an idea. Or if I find a melody, I'll record it and I'll try to get it as far as I can. So the creative process for me it hasn't really changed much. And if you ask any of my friends, they'll know that they can text me at 2 a.m. and find me in front of my screen. But for us specifically as SOLIS, like it comes in waves, and I think we're good surfers in that we catch a wave and we ride it, and it's about kind of finding that break. So we're working on a lot of music, and I'm kind of in the process of arranging all that stuff and kind of getting it ready, and on top of the quarantine sessions and then other mix work that I do for other artists on the label and outside of the label, where I'm trying to stay productive, and I get more text messages and calls now to kind of help, and I'm happy to do it only because it's a great time for art. And honestly, like, it's a good time to just be doing nothing as well, and it's perfectly fine to not be learning new things. And it's I think it's a healthy thing, and if you can get through it, and I think it'd be great. But if you can't, like, it's not it's not a big deal. We're going through it.
Yeah, every person has their own path to take. Well, folks, let's go ahead and hear that one song that just was released through the Quarantine Sessions on Four Finger Records. So that song, R2PO by SOLIS, we'll hear a live performance of that right now on Songversations.
enlarging our failures, with no space for hiding. We walk down in the desert, consumed by the pressure, and we made mistakes. But oh, I wish I could save you, but I've only blamed you for my situation. And oh, I need you to listen, know that I'm trying before we fade away.
That was great, folks.
Thanks.
That's awesome. I wish there was more of a physical audience to be able to give some hand claps to, but just pretend mine's amplified by 40.
I'm sure I can pull up a laugh track somewhere and we can get,
A laugh track.
yeah.
A laugh track.
Not like a sitcom, you know?
We're not turning this into Seinfeld. We don't have the rights to that. We don't have the budget for that.
Applause.
Larry David's not coming over to us over here in Charlotte, but that's okay. That's okay. For folks joining us, that was Leo and Kelly Solis of the band Solis, based here in Charlotte, based out of their home studio right now. We are social distancing. We're nowhere near each other. And the song that you just heard was R2PO. It's from their compilation record that they helped with. It's called Quarantine Sessions. And for those wondering where they can get that song and support the band, they can find it on facebook.com/fourfingerrecords and also on fourfingerrecords.bandcamp.com. And I assume also wherever you stream music. R2PO, what the song, the title of the song we just heard, what does that title mean? Because it makes me think of Star Wars.
Oh, totally. And you're right on it. It's really a love story, Joni, between two friends in the Star Wars universe. And it's really nerdy. And, when we first wrote it, I don't know, I pulled up this beat on the Omnichord. This is an Omnichord. It's an old educational tool for children. But yeah, Kelly started writing about R2D2 and C3PO's relationship, and it became evident that that they're really best friends, and they love each other.
They've been through some stuff.
And they've seen a lot.
They
and
argue.
They argue a lot. But the first line of that song just really kills me. It's awesome.
C3PO knows a very large amount of languages. So he reads, in my opinion, he reads R2's facial expressions.
He does.
And
in every language.
And the unspoken language.
Yeah. But it really applies
Robot facial
to
expressions.
love and lost, and which a lot of our songs kind of dive into that. But yeah, this is about two droids, one humanoid and the other robot. But
taking responsibility when you get people caught and enslaved.
Yeah.
Which did happen.
It did happen. But yeah, we take stories from everywhere, from our lives, and then from other robots' lives.
As one does.
As one does. But this is actually
as I do, as you do, as our listeners do. Yeah, of course, obviously.
There's a lot to learn from the galaxy far, far away.
We're so nerdy.
This is embarrassing.
Yes, obviously we're not nerds here talking about that. So let's talk a little bit about what your day-to-day has been like right now with making music. I mean, are you creating new songs right now? I mean, R2PO is one that you've been working on for years. You finally put the cap on it. You're done with it. It's out on the new release. But right now, are you writing new songs based off your experiences, living through this stay-at-home order of sorts?
I haven't been yet. Full disclosure, we are working on the next quarantine session
Mhm.
song that we've received to do. And that one is exciting. I'm excited about that, but I haven't been getting in. I think Leo, you've been working.
Yeah.
on
So apart from SOLIS, I also like to just create whatever it is. And Kelly actually pulls a lot from this pool of instrumentals that I just kind of create. I've been working on a lot of stuff with a lot of friends actually, and I'm really excited about it. I think I've made maybe like, I don't know, somewhere up towards 20 to 25 med little diddlies, as they say, over the last couple of months, and it's been nice just to kind of create without any any agenda or any kind of any agenda based or other than just like creating. And I've invited a lot of friends and even a lot of people in the Four Finger Camp, and I've been getting a lot of requests to collaborate as well. So I've been staying pretty creative, but nothing really has changed.
Mhm.
I try to stay active.
Can I ask with you all, because you obviously live together, you're a husband-wife duo, but Leo, you're just mentioning wanting to collaborate, working with other artists. What has that process been like? I mean, you're not able to see them in person. You're not able to have band practice or meeting in, a room together of sorts. So is it a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails, a lot of like Zoom conference lines, similar to what we're doing today?
Yeah, I mean there are challenges, and I miss having people here at the studio, even just to kind of come and and just bang on some toys. But at the end of the day, it's really providing opportunities for a lot of home musicians to maybe get a setup and like start recording at home and start creating. And I've had a handful of text messages come in, and people just wanting to release more content. And I think that's the biggest hurdle, is releasing your first thing. And once you kind of get past that, then you can start collaborating, and you can start I don't know, being a little more confident in who you are as an artist, and what you want to say to your friends, to your family, to the people that are going to listen to your songs. But it's funny that you asked that, because I just recently went on Instagram Live on my personal Instagram account, and the challenge for me was I want to create a song live without any agenda or without any preconceptions of what the song could be. And I asked the people that were watching live to submit ideas. It could be from a voice memo, or it can be a drum track that you have. And we had like a bunch of submissions, and I used every one of them, and I emailed them the final product afterwards. And everybody just seems to be kind of on the same level playing field, and we're all in the same baseball stadium. And I just want to play
The
baseball.
same Dodgers baseball stadium. Is that right?
Yeah, I miss Dodger baseball so much.
What were some of the ideas that they're giving to you on Instagram Live? And I mean, not to put you on the spot, but would you be able to maybe do something live for us?
Sure. So some of the like the first idea was like a drum track, and then it was there was this person from Texas who sent in her her voice memo of her humming, and it kind of just all came along, and I arranged it live. So people were asking questions about my setup and what what I do and how I do. And I like to work fast, and I don't really like to get holed up in the technical side of things. So I'm just kind of rocking and rolling. But I don't know if I have anything live. Let's see.
Yeah, if I could give you a prompt of sorts. So, we don't have a theme song for Songversations, and I don't know what it would sound like. And I never actually thought of what themes would go into it. So I'm curious, do you have an idea, a coloring of what a theme could be for Songversations?
Here, I'm just going to pull up something here and see what, I have no idea what this is, but let's see.
Yeah, sure. Hey, this is all an experiment. I'm excited to see what's going to come out of this.
Like this.
Okay.
Yeah, for those that may not be familiar too, as Leah's doing that, so with Amplifier's theme song, that came about because we asked all the artists coming to the studio for the podcast interview if they could sing or say the word amplifier, and then we made that into a medley, which is what you hear when you listen to Amplifier on your favorite podcast device or wfae.org/amplifier. So, you know, I'm all game to figure out what the new theme for this new video series could be.
What about this?
Jaunty.
Maybe it's a little too sad.
Is it sad?
I don't know. No, that's another song. That's another song.
So this is a work in progress. We'll figure this out.
We'll get on email. We'll figure it out. But that's my improv session for the day.
You know, it's okay. We all want to be Reggie Watts. We all want to be that keyboardist that's able to just manipulate sounds everywhere. So, you know, how about we do this instead? Let's do a song that you guys know from heart, that you folks know from heart, and that's "Stay Young." It's a fairly recent release of Solis's. It came out again in 2019. Was it last year?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and hear from "Stay Young." And Kelly, do you want to chat a little bit about what "Stay Young" means before we get into the song?
Yeah. I wrote this one after a family member of mine died that had been around for a long time, like a grandmother, and it was a hard time, and it had me thinking of just parents and growing old and wanting them to stay young. And so that's really the context of this song, is like memories and how it feels to say bye when you leave their house and things like that, and just not know what the future holds. Feels heavy right now. So that's this one.
All right.
Dancing on the steps when I pull out of the driveway, and I break my neck just to see you one more time. What if it's the last? What if it's the last? How bittersweet it is to love someone so deeply. It's all closing in, it's all I think about when I'm leaving. You'll break me in half, you'll break me in half. Can I be honest for a moment? I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready to let you go. I'll be honest, I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready to let you go. I'm wide awake tonight and wish that I could call you, 'cause I need you now, but I'm so used to withholding. Oh, my heart, it aches. All you do is wait, all you do is pray. Oh, can you stay young? Can I be honest for a moment? I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready to let you go. I'll be honest, I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready. I wanna let you go, let it go. Oh, can you stay young? I just want forever. Oh, can you stay young?
That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Of course, for those tuning in, that was Stay Young by SOLIS. And if you are wanting to listen to that record, I guess I should say a different recording of it, maybe not a live recording, you can find Stay Young wherever you stream music, Spotify, for example. But you can also follow the band on social media, Sound of Solis, that's SOLIS. So folks, we've chatted a little bit about what this new normal has been like for you all. I kind of want to get a sense of where you'd be right now, were not for the stay-at-home order that we're under. So what were your original plans for what April, May, the summer would bring for the band and Four Finger Records prior to, the outbreak?
So I had a tour actually lined up. I've been a freelance audio engineer and musician for about 12 years now. And actually, it's funny because before the pandemic, I actually decided to stay home a little more and to do more of this and more content creating. So I kind of canceled my own career, if I can say it that way, before all this. But I did have some commitments with a lot of really incredible artists, and one of that was a tour. So what's the date today, the 7th? I would be prepping for a tour that we would be leaving next week, and obviously that was a huge kind of paycheck. So we've learned over the years. Kelly and I have been married 9 years now, and we've kind of learned, again, the wave. When the wave comes, you got to kind of you got to catch it, and then when it's low and the tide is low, like, you learn that hey, maybe you just kind of appreciate the scenery. So I had a tour lined up and a couple of other projects here in the studio, and I'm doing my best to try to work through all those obstacles. But I think a big part for us is just staying mentally healthy and try to engage more and communicate more. And I know that that's something that we talked about with you, Joni, last time. So yeah, I think we're going to be okay. And I want to say that the people that are on the front lines of this, and of the healthcare workers, like, I know it's hard to say how much we appreciate them through conversations like this. But Kelly's sister is a nurse, and a lot of my family is still in the service industry, and so definitely our thoughts are out for everybody that is currently going through something hard and something difficult. So
I think this is a time to really kind of reflect on the community that we're in, and just making sure that everyone in it, the people that you see on a day-to-day basis, the people maybe you don't see that often, this is a time to kind of check in on them, whether that's streaming a song of theirs, if they're your favorite band, or reaching out to them on social media, or if you're able to give them a call or an email or a text just to say, hey, I'm thinking about you, want to make sure you're doing okay. Which, to that point, actually, so we're on Facebook Live. We're streaming our debut Songversation right now, and we are receiving a number of comments on WFAE's Facebook, which is facebook.com/WFAE. And one of those comments is from Jacob Gresham, who wants to tell Leo that Jacob from the Neighborhood Theater, one of Charlotte's finest local music establishments, that Jacob from the Neighborhood Theater says hello, and that he misses you, Leo.
Oh, that's very sweet. And I've worked in a lot of venues around town, and actually most of them. And my heart just kind of goes out to them as well, as they kind of navigate what it looks like post-pandemic to get people back into the normalcy of live music. And it's obviously hard to think about that now, but working at a venue day to day with people like Jacob and other friends that are watching this are in the music industry, and they tour a lot as well. And I just hope that we learn from this and we can kind of create a new and a better way of communicating art through live music. And it's the Wild West right now, Joni. I don't know if you've noticed, but we're trying our best to kind of figure out where the Oregon Trail is going to take us this time.
Yeah, the Oregon. again, if it wasn't established that the nerds are on this
We're
call, then I think that Oregon Trail reference definitely put the nail in the Oregon Trail coffin.
God, I'm taking it way back.
Surprising.
For listeners who want to help with local music and maybe they're not sure where to start, maybe they're kind of shell shocked right now and they're like, there's too many things, I don't know what to do. As two of the musicians that are working, collaborating, still in contact with a lot of the Charlotte music scene here, what would you say are maybe the go-to things that you'd recommend listeners do to support local music?
That's a hard question because a lot of people don't know where their next meal is going to come from or their next paycheck is going to come from. And that's hard because, we try to survive off of doing this. But I think, messages, maybe even like send a cake or send some tortillas to your local artist. Like, I mean, little things count right now, but I mean, if you are in a position to donate and to contribute and to help, we had a lot of people reach out to us when we released the Bandcamp, the quarantine sessions, and people were giving gifts up to $100, and like that kind of like really shocks us because we couldn't make that plane at a local pub, let alone like somebody give. So I mean, if you're in a position to support financially, like that's awesome. This isn't a commercial for giving your money, but send some tortillas or send some bread or I don't know, Joni, like it's hard to even talk about asking for stuff, and hopefully we all get through this and we can all kind of still stay at our homes and our apartments and keep our jobs hopefully after this. But yeah, if you're in a position to help, do it. Reach out, send a message, send a DM on the socials and say, hey, like,
what's your Cash App?
What's your Venmo? But I mean, also like supporting local restaurants. Like my parents own a restaurant, and they're navigating through this as well. And it's hard to think that people are struggling, but
there's so much need everywhere.
There is, and even on the other side of this too, like I hope people retain this kind of generous mentality to kind of help each other out because we all need a little love.
Leo, what's the name of your parents' restaurant? Because that's not a Charlotte-based restaurant, is it?
No, so they own a restaurant in New Mexico. It's a couple hours southeast of Albuquerque, and it's called the Four Winds Restaurant. And it's awesome. They bought an old diner, and I think they're watching right now. So hi, Mom, Dad, and my family who's watching. I love you guys so much. But it's cool. My mom loves it. It's kind of like her thing, and my dad is great at it as well. But yeah.
Well, I love the idea of sending tortillas, sending bread, sending food, but also sending love and sending maybe a little monetary support or even streaming support. I mean, I've talked to some musicians, and as simple as streaming a song or downloading a song, buying it, purchasing merch. I dropped by Lunchbox Records the other day just to pick up a t-shirt from their drive-through of sorts, which I feel like part of the Songversations now on, I will be wearing a local Charlotte music shirt just to support the merch side of things. So anything that can be done to, just put a little bit of money and a little bit of love in someone else's pocket. We actually do have another comment I want to ask before we get into one more song, our final song of the performance of our Songversation debut. And the question's actually from Jeff Bundy, who works at WFAE, a colleague, and he's asking about your tech setup. And if you can kind of do a brief recap of what listeners can see in this video.
So technical side of things, it's very nerdy, Joni. And if you've learned anything from us, I went above and beyond with what we can do. But essentially, this beautiful Wurlitzer and the Omnichord, which I love, and then it's a Teenage Engineering OP1 Nerd Alert. And then I have pedals back here, and everything on my side is going into a sub mixer. If you know what that is, if you don't know what that is, Google it. And then that's going into my interface. And then Kelly's beautiful Shure SM7 with a pop filter is going into another set of inputs. And then those are all going to you, Joni, through the beautiful the World Wide Web. And I hope there isn't a lag, because this could look very dumb if I'm doing this hand motion thing. But yeah, it's nothing different than what I would do in the studio. I kind of like the setup stuff, and then I have a lot more stuff on that side that you can't see, and then a lot more stuff on this side that you can't see.
Oh, interesting.
There's a drum set over there. There's a lot of stuff. But that's a quick rundown. If you want to know anything about this, please send me a direct message. I would love to help you with your Zoom needs.
Yeah. Music needs, home recording needs, commission music. I mean, look, the sky's the limit right now in terms of creativity, gig economy. You do the gigs from your own home, you know?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And we love our home setup, and we've been doing this for a long time. And I think it's safe to say, Joni, that the home studio is more important than it's ever been. And we've been a huge proponent of it. And people have won Grammys coming out of their home. Not going to name any names because I'm just not. But
I mean, I'll name a name. I mean, Chance the Rapper had a mixtape that was basically made, part of it was made at the local library because of a free studio equipment and things available there in Chicago. So look, like, you make it wherever it is, and if it has a lot of heart, that's all that matters.
Just start at home for now.
Yeah.
And then go to the library later.
That's right. I'm not saying go to the library right now. I'm saying dream big after the point that we're able to go to the library once it reopens.
Joni,
libraries are great.
There are a lot of resources out there, and I'm more than happy to share. Even on your phone, like, there's a ton of apps that I even use for a lot of our recordings that have surprised me. And right now, a lot of companies are doing a lot of free apps. So please reach out to us and let me know if there's anything that you guys would want to know.
Yeah, I think the Moog synthesizer, the folks at Moog they released their app for free, and Moog's actually has a history in Asheville, North Carolina. You're right, there are a ton of different apps out there. I don't want to take away from the potential business you can make from this, so I'm gonna leave it there, and hopefully people can reach out to you and SOLIS through social media to get more. But why don't we do this? We'll do one more song from the two of you, and then we'll do a quick little recap afterwards to let folks know how they can support you and how they can keep in tune with what we're doing here. So the last song that we have for you all today is Control. It's an oldie but a goodie, and whenever you're ready, feel free.
It's not what you wanted to be. It's not what you are to me. So much more, and I can tell you every single day. But I need you to listen. I know I've had my doubts, but you've fallen faster than I. Oh, then I could control. You've fallen further away. Is this what you needed? Time away, but you are taking all my time away. And every day I wait for you, for you. I know I've had my doubts, but you've fallen faster than I. Oh, then I could control. You've fallen further away.
By the way, people are commenting applause in the Facebook Live
That's
comments.
awesome.
There are some virtual applause going on beyond my Zoom applause.
Much better.
So,
Thank you.
so that was the song Control by the band SOLIS, based here in Charlotte. Husband and wife duo Leo and Kelly have been with us this past hour for our debut of Songversations from WFAE's Amplifier. It's been a nice mix of conversations and songs, hence the title. We're so happy to have had this debut with you two. I do want to get into how to support you all for listeners out there that want to keep in touch. So for Leo's record label, we've been talking about throughout the Songversation, Four Finger Records. You can find them on Facebook. You can also find their music, Four Finger Records, on Bandcamp, wherever you find music. And as for Solis, the duo, find them on Bandcamp, soundofsolis.bandcamp.com, and also facebook.com/soundofsolis. Leo and Kelly, what else should listeners know about you, or ways to support or follow you right now?
Yeah, I mean, I would say totally go to the Bandcamp and support that EP that we just put out. We're a really close-knit family in the Four Finger Records, and we have always kind of said, hey, if we win, we all win, or if we all win, we win. And there's room for everyone here in Charlotte, and support that, because we were able to give those bands and those families maybe a meal or something a little further than where they were today. There's a lot of uncertainty with a lot of jobs, and a lot of our guys are scared. So I don't know. I think support the Bandcamp. I think that'll mean a lot to us, and keep streaming our music, and tagging us and doing all that fun stuff. I think it's important, and it makes us feel like we're doing something.
Yeah, and just wait for the opportunity to see you all live once everything's clear and safe, hopefully in the fall. But again, keeping in touch with WFAE for all that news to know what's going on in the world around us. So Solis, I want to give you the last note before I kind of round us off. Anything else we should know about you, or things that you're planning, or
we're working
that you're making?
We're making a lot of pasta these days. We're working on new music, so we're hoping to release a couple of singles this summer, and then I think I'd like to work on a full-length record here pretty soon. But Joni, thank you so much for doing this and being kind of just a big supporter in the local music scene. It means a lot to weird, nerdy bands like ours that you would take your time out of your day and do all of this. So I appreciate it. I know it's a lot of hard work, and thank you to everybody else who was involved in this, and WFAE, we love you guys. Thank you for being a strong proponent in the music scene here.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I appreciate that, but you and everyone else in the music scene here, locally, regionally, you all put in the hard work. So if we're able to amplify your voices and your songs even further, then all the better. But thank you for your time today too. So just to wrap up, this is the debut of Songversations. Thank you to everyone who asked questions, who chimed in online, who watched us. The video will be available after. So should you want to rewatch the Songversation, feel free to. It's at facebook.com/WFAE and also at WFAE.org. Support the artists that are on today's stream, support the artists on future streams. Songversations will be taking place every Tuesday and Thursday at noon Eastern on facebook.com/WFAE. So hope to see you this Thursday for our next artist, our next performance, our next Songversation. And also, as a reminder, if you'd like to donate to WFAE, support the music, the news, the breaking coverage that you come to expect from the Charlotte NPR news source, I hope that you do support it, that you do sustain it. You can do so at hitting the donate button at WFAE.org. With that said, Solis, I don't know if you want to take us out with a ditty, you're more than welcome to. But this has been Songversation on this Tuesday, April 7th, 2020. I hope that everyone stays safe, that you stay well, you stay inspired, stay songful, and we'll see you Thursday at noon. Take it away, Solis.
You did. Leo never gets to sing.
Yeah. That's all I got.